Even in the middle of the street, flower boxes, just like what this job did into mayor for 9 years, etc., etc. And his father was likewise mayor for 25 years. He grew up, as a matter of fact, at City Hall because he was always with his father.
And the brother is now the mayor, si Bambol.
Yes, si Bambol, si Abraham.
Interesting. I don't know anything about him, but right here
qualified.
in GNN.
Qualified.
After all, you don't need a Manilan to run the city, to run the Metro Manila Council.
But
that's
how can he
administrative.
run and fix the problems of Metro Manila when in Tagaytay it's one road? He couldn't fix it. Until now, you can't fix it.
But you see, Harry, no? He has always been a Manilan. He studied during his high school days. Manileño na yan. Dito na yung nakatira.
No, really,
he would only go home on weekend.
I really
in
don't know
college,
very much about him. I heard somebody putting him down or questioning his position. Right here in GNN in one of the shows, one of the new shows over the weekend, which is why I was just making that comment. But going to this issue, is it then a misnomer? Do we really have a problem about not being corrupt? Because, alam mo, it's easy to say that's a campaign slogan. Tapos na eleksyon, nanalo na siya.
Yes.
Now, we heard it yesterday. Diba? Now, during the SONA, he says the GFIs, government financial institutions, no less again, the Land Bank and the Development Bank of the Philippines. Father Bernas, in his column today, sinabi niya, the corruption of the Land Bank, tuloy na naman. So in other words, embedded, corrupt talaga tayo. Hinihingi ngayon ng presidente natin, contribution natin, do not be bystanders, be part of the solution.
Makilahok.
Diba?
That's what the word.
Makilahok.
Makilahok, yes.
So we look at him, we watch, we read it, we sit back. Hey, I want to help my country. He's a popular leader. The massa is following him. Hey, this is good. This is very good. Pero pwede ba tayong hindi maging corrupt?
Harry, the way I look at it
Unless
right
mayaman
now,
ka,
the way I look at it right now, his cabinet members, the public officials, our people are hopeful. But they are critically looking at his body language, whether the body language will follow the rhetorics. And this is why when the president came out with all these exposés regarding graft and corruption, everybody from the NFA people started coming up with corruption, Francis Tolentino, because that's the body language of the president. But the next few months or the next year will finally determine whether there will be a unison between what is being stated as against the actions being taken.
It's now going on.
Yes. Exactly.
His man in the Department of Public Works and Highways.
Rogelio Singson.
Yeah, it's being shaken.
Exactly.
His man in the Bureau of Customs.
Correct.
The foundation of Alvarez is already shaken.
I wanted you to be the one to say it.
How can these people? No, but how can these people not be corrupt?
Hari. By the way, do you take Joaquin Bernas seriously? Don't you know that he is a lawyer who has never seen a courtroom? I don't know why so many people admire or believe so much Joaquin Bernas.
I think his integrity towards being a constitutionalist has always been upheld
because he
by
happens
many.
to be a member of the CONCON.
Yes.
That's his only...
No, for lack of any...
Plus he's a Jesuit.
Yeah. No, I think the only reason I brought up Father Bernas is because I do believe the Land Bank is a problem. And also the Development Bank of the Philippines. Actually, I think it doesn't end there. It goes all the way to the Central Bank. I think we have real issues with government financial institutions. I believe when Noynoy went on the stage and he started talking about how in the SONA, how well entrenched corruption is in government agencies, government financial institutions. I mean, one need not look too far. In our own environment, lahat po tayo, in any environment that you're in, be it a professional, an entrepreneur, just a regular housewife, corruption all around you is not just existent, it's screaming at you.
You know, Harry...
But there are reasons why these people are like that. Yung mga nakatayo sa kanto, walang trabaho, sasakay ka ng jeep, pagsakay mo, hihingihan ng pera yung mga pasahero, yung mga...
You know, Harry, I hope it doesn't happen, but every president will have a weak moment. And this is what his cabinet members and public officials are looking, examining how he will react when he's subjected to a weak moment. Because you know what? you can only get obedience, respect, and loyalty from your people when you are better than them.
So far,
Are you implying that he has a depression syndrome?
No, I'm saying a weak moment of a temptation.
ang galing ng patama nito.
A weak
Because
moment of
weak-
seduction.
Weak,
Of seduction.
weak moment.
Patama ka talaga, ha?
Weak moment only comes in during depression. But if you are strong-spirited, no matter what they say against you, you will have that fighting spirit to withstand the rigors of the controversies.
Gentlemen, I'm going to have to hold it there because I'd like the audience to be part of us. We're going to have to take a short break. So we'll have to stop it here so you'll be part. When we come back, we'll continue and find out if really is there reality in not being corrupt, or is it all pagwapo lang? We'll be right back.
Wisdom to King Solomon.
Hello, my name is Erik Tambuatco. With us, we have Erik Espina, columnist, Manila Bulletin. He's also a GNN host. It's called Republica ni Erik right here. I think it's every Friday, correct, Erik?
Every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday night at 8 o'clock.
Yes.
And we also have Dr. Frank Grego. He is the editor-in-chief of the Congress magazine, who's now been in publication for close to 19 years. Our subject or our topic is about, well, if you're going, who is not corrupt? I had to read it from the monitor. Basically, in one of my programs, I had Alan Paguilla here, attorney Alan Paguilla, and he brought it out, basically, and I coined that word. It's basically the culture of exploitation, the ability to take advantage of the other people because people who really who are not in the know of what's going on. So you exploit and you just keep exploiting, and this culture goes on and on and on. I guess the reality is it true? Is it real? Pwede ka bang mabuhay na hindi ka nagiging corrupt? Well, I'm not sure I know how to answer that question, which is why we're beginning to discuss it. Dr. Grego says no. Erik says no. What do you think? Let's go back to this. If government financial institutions, biro mo yan ang mga finance niyan, ay mga mahawak ng mga kwarta ng Pilipinas, ganun ang nangyayari. Para pa. So, anong ginagawa natin? Nagmamalinis ba tayong mga Pilipino? O i-rationalize natin, ito corrupt, ito hindi corrupt, ito graft, ito hindi. Come on, you're either a grafter, a corrupt person, or not. Now, is it possible not to be? For example, you remember this movie, very popular, Indecent Proposal? Alam mo, sasabihin nila, ito, 10 piso, pwede ka ba? Hindi ko kaya yan. 10 piso, diretso ako. O, ito, 1 million. Ano ka? Ano tingin mo sa akin? 1 million. O, sige, ito, 2 billion piso. Sige na, pwede na. You are no better than the person na pumayag na sa 10 piso. You are still the professional, well, whore, so to speak. Di ba? Because the difference is the volume. That's all that it is.
That is your level of temptation.
Okay.
That's the level of
So it's the level of temptation that makes... But either way, when you sway from one to the other, it does not mean the pendulum says you're clean and not clean, and the swing identifies the difference. No. You're still one and the same. Correct me if I'm wrong. So are we all grafters? Are we all corrupt? Can we live without being corrupt? Pwede ba yun?
Actually, Harry, corruption helps. It
You're not
helps.
beginning to see it's really all for corruption. I mean, I thought morally, value-wise, as I grew up in Catholic school, no, you know, I mean, Ateneo Lasal na yan. Hindi dapat eh. Di ba?
It helps.
But it doesn't make it correct.
Why don't you ask me to cite an
Yes,
example?
Please,
How?
sige nga. Side. We always find you interesting in your different points of view.
Okay.
Okay. I used to